Hi Camp Like Campers. Today we are going to make this amazing rainmaker. Doesn't that sound awesome? All right, let's get to it. I'm going to turn my camera this way. All right. Before we get started, you are definitely going to need a few things to complete this project. You're going to need some glue, some scissors, and you're also going to need some tape. All right, so there are a few things that came in your bag. You should have this roll, 3 pipe cleaners, 2 white circles, some feathers, beads, rope, and then a piece of paper. And on the top of the piece of paper, you should see 2 circles. So the first step is going to involve the 2 circles. So we're going to grab our scissors and we're going to cut out the 2 circles. We're going to just cut as straight of a line as possible because we're going to use the bottom part of the paper to complete our rainmaker. All right, so after you cut those out, your circles are going to they're going to look like this. Your circles. So really the first step that we're going to do is we're going to glue the brown circles to the white circles. So let's go ahead and do that. Put some glue here. Put some more here. All right. All right, so I'm just going to put those on. And then I'm going to take my circles and I'm going to put them to the side because I'm going to need those to dry. All right, the next step is the bottom part of your brown piece of paper is what we're going to cover the tube with. So what we're going to do is there's a few ways you can do it. You can just crinkle the paper like I've done here. Just crinkle it up. All you have to do is just kind of wad it up like you're throwing away a piece of trash. Or you can even color it. So, whichever one you decide to do, you can do that now. After you get that done, you need to get your piece of paper. I'm going to use the flames, and you're going to glue it all over your rain stick. So I'm going to go ahead and start mine now. All right. Go ahead and your paper should just about fit really well on there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and roll this over and glue the rest. All right, so my rain stick is covered. Mine's covered with flames. Actually, I'm just going to put a little bit more glue here so it stays. Don't want it to fall off. A little bit more right here. All right, so we want to do that first because we want to give that as much time as possible to dry. So I'm going to take my rain stick and I'm going to put it over with my 2 circles because all that needs to dry. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my 3 pipe cleaners. So this is an important part that's going to go on the inside of your tube. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab two of them and I'm gonna grab the end of it and I'm just gonna twist, twist, twist them together. So we've taken two and we've turned it into one long one. So now with our long one, we're gonna do the same thing and we're gonna twist it to the end of the other one. So now we have a really long pipe cleaner. So now my one pipe cleaner my three pipe cleaners have become one. So the next step is we're going to twist it around our finger like that. So it kind of almost looks like a little curly pig's tail, all right? So you're gonna do this the whole way down because you want it to kind of, this is gonna bounce off the beads and make them all not come down at once. So they'll kind of trickle down, which gives it that rain, that nice rain sound. Okay, still twisting. All right. So we have our little curly Q. We're gonna go ahead and put that to the side. Now, the next part is we're gonna wait about 5 minutes to let everything dry, and then we're gonna come back. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. I need to make sure that all my things are dried before I start the next step. Hey campers, we're back. All right, so my rain stick is nice and dry. So for the next part, it's really gonna be important that we ask for a parent's help so this doesn't become a big mess. So it is important that we get this next part taped very, very well on. So we're gonna take our little curly Q and we're gonna insert it into, I'm putting it inside. And then I'm gonna reach my fingers through and I'm gonna make sure I can touch the curly Q on both ends of my rainmaker. On the inside of one, I'm gonna bend my curly Q because I'm gonna tape this to the inside of my rainmaker like this. So I'm gonna put that down and I'm gonna grab some tape. All right, so I'm gonna tape this in here. Sometimes this is kind of hard to do. So I'm just gonna put a piece of tape from here. I'm gonna go ahead and tape it outside because I want my pipe cleaner to make sure that I need it to stay in place. Okay, so that's there. Awesome. So the next part is we're gonna take one of our circles. And you wanna take your brown circle and you're gonna put it on top. And this is where I think that parents might need to really help because you don't want all the beads to fall out of your rain stick. So I'm just gonna use some tape and I'm gonna tape it up. I wanna make sure everything stays in place. So I'm gonna grab some tape and I'm gonna tape it really well. Okay, got one side there. Make sure it's closed really well because the beads are so tiny. They will really be able to fall out of any little hole they find. Okay. A few more. Okay, so I feel like my bottom is on really well. See that? So now this is what your rain stick should look like so far. So we have our curly Q on the inside and this side is open, right? So I'm gonna just put one more on top, just to be safe. All right, there we go. So the next part is you're gonna take your beads. They should be in a little container like this, and you get to pour them inside of the rainmaker. So I'm gonna take the part that's open and I'm gonna dump my beads in. Here we go. All right, so before you close it up, don't forget that we need to put that curly Q on there. All right, so I'm getting my tape and I'm making sure my curly Q is really taped in there well. But being very careful though, because all my beads are in here and I don't want them to dump out. So I'm gonna tape. Okay, and you might be able to predict what the next step is gonna be. We are gonna take the brown circle and we're gonna tape it on top. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take our tape. If you would like to glue it, that would be fine. I would just make sure that you cover it with tape too. So I'm gonna just go ahead and tape mine. Very well. Still taping, just going around the circle here. Almost done. All right, last piece. So my rainmaker should be pretty secure. All my beads should be in there and it's sounding like a rainmaker now. But we still have a few more steps and this is the fun part. So you should have been given some string inside your bag. That looks like this. And you should have also been given some beads. So this is where you're gonna get to decorate it. This is my favorite part. So I'm gonna take my string because I'm gonna put one decoration on one end of my rain stick and I'm gonna put another decoration on the other end of my rain stick. So I'm gonna start with this end first. And you may have longer string, but I'm only gonna be able to wrap mine around about twice. And then I'm gonna tie it in a knot. And if you need to ask a parent for help, this might be a good time. So I have it in a double knot just to make sure. So I have two pieces here on the end. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose a color bead. Oops. And I'm gonna put it inside. And what I'm gonna do to make sure that my bead stays in, I'm gonna tie a knot at the end. Hopefully that will be long enough. Nope. Sometimes you need to make it a bigger knot. So I'm gonna retie it again. So it should be a nice big knot and the bead should not pass through that. And now I'm gonna choose a feather and I'm gonna put the feather right in the bead like that. Now, that doesn't look like it's gonna stay very well. So I'm going to use my glue and I'm gonna put some glue right down in the bead. It's gonna help the bead stay tight to the rope and it'll also help the feather stay on. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put that here and I'm gonna do it to the other side of my rope. So again, I'm choosing my color. I'm gonna feed it through. And because the bead is larger, the hole is larger, I'm gonna have to make two knots so my bead will not fall off my rope. Now, pulling that down. Oops, I think I've messed up. I'm gonna have to do it one more time because they didn't quite get on top of each other. There we go. Now I have a big fat knot. All right, so My bead cannot pass through. I'm gonna choose my feather. I have this blue, which is my favorite color. See my blue? Again, I'm gonna put glue inside of my bead. I'm gonna just slide it in there. Might put more on top. Awesome. It looks so good. So now I'm gonna do the other side of my rainmaker, and I'm going to do the tie again. You might be able, your rope might be long enough to do it 3 times, but mine, I'm only gonna do it twice. And I'm gonna tie the knot. I'll tie it again, just to make it very secure. All right, so I have 2 more beads left. So I'm gonna put a bead here, feed it through. I'm gonna do my 2 knots. All right, and I have another blue feather, yay! All right, so grab my glue. And I'm gonna put my feather on there. I'm just gonna put a little dab more at the top so it stays. So I have 1 more side to do, and then I am gonna be done with my rainmaker. Okay, 1 and 2. And I did it again. I didn't double the knots on top of each other, so I'm gonna give it one more knot. Yeah, there we go. Slide my feather. And my rainmaker is complete. I would suggest that you wait 5 to 10 minutes before you play with it. That will give you enough time for all the glue to dry. Like campers, it's been so fun hanging out with you today. I hope you have a wonderful summer. See you soon.